male toxicity is an interesting term that gets thrown around a lot.
They're threatened by how powerful feminine energy is, that it'll overtake them and be more powerful than them.
They can never be physically overpowered. The real macho guys are the guys who are in touch with their emotional side, that can cry.
We've been so conditioned generationally not to really love ourselves.
It's expected that you're going to spend 7 hours a day on your screen. People, their hobbies and their interests, it really drives them. Everyone's the main character in their own life. To be genuinely you is a powerful thing. It's not real. Like people that they may be, I mean, listen, we all, I'm sure, have met people throughout our lives who seem like it's just all so perfect, right? It's never perfect. Never. People always suffer from what people suffer from. Like, you know, no one can be 100% confident from birth. It just doesn't exist. Everyone wavers. Everyone has those moments, those hopefully character building moments where they have to overcome and get it back or get it, whatever the case may be. I think that it's really up to the individual to like teach themselves, build that muscle. We talk about so many different kinds of muscles, but really like that's what life is. Just building a bunch of different muscles. It's just accumulating a bunch of different tools, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Partnership is important. Love is important. To have, you know, stability is important. You got to.
So it's funny that you say partnership's important. Because I know a lot of people who they're good solo. They're kind of their own captain on their own ship, and they really don't need someone else to do anything for them. As a matter of fact, some people I find, especially nowadays more than ever, they're really against it. Like marriage is at like pretty much an all-time low. Reproduction is going down. And I hear people on, you know, like they don't want to get married. They don't want to have kids. They don't want the risks. They don't want the responsibility. They don't want the accountability. They want to be able to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And I mean, I think classically we've always taught people, and I mean, religion always teaches people that the goal is to get married, procreate, build a family life, for yourself, along with hopefully other accomplishments, right? You know, or, you know, giving to your community or whatever.
Well, partnership is important. I think we live in an era where all these kind of alternative models of partnership are coming up, like polyamory and things like that.
Yes. No, for sure. Not just
or
different
marriages or whatever.
Or technology.
Well, technology is spreading the fire, right?
Well, I think it also almost has taken over some of it. I think that from social media to dating sites to pornography to AI and robots to you know, people are finding artificial versions of connection. It's scary as hell because it threatens real connection. If people become happy and fulfilled in artificial connection.
But you know what? It's making us feel more connected to one another. It's teaching us the sense of interconnectedness.
We've never been more connected and we've never been more apart. I can't tell you how many times I'll walk into a restaurant, I'll walk into a house and everyone's on their phones. No one's talking. It's crazy. Like you're in a social situation, put your phone away. Like what do you do? I mean, other than taking a picture or a video to capture it for maybe if you want to post it later, like you're with people that have chosen to also be with you and you're all on your devices out in La La Land looking at someone else's Instagram to see what they, who knows what, you know?
It's teaching us. That's the thing when you look at it from a functional psychological perspective, it's serving some function. Right? What's good about it?
Well, I think first of all, it's giving credence to the notion of sharing your entire life or sharing parts of your life on social media. I think that it also normalizes the time that you're spending doing it. So like, you know, it's expected that you're going to spend 7 hours a day on your screen. It's expected. Right. And so if you're born and raised like that, you don't know any different. When I was a kid, that didn't exist. When you got bored, you went outside and played. I think that the social norms have changed with the times, obviously, because now this is what everyone does. But again, it's one of those things I still feel. It's like the baby that you gave the bowl of candy, and the first time you did it, the baby ate the whole bowl of candy, and maybe the second and third and fourth, and always got a tummy ache till the baby learns that you don't eat the whole thing at once. You have a couple, and you have a few more later, right? Everything, we're like babies. Every new thing that we do, we abuse at the beginning until we learn not to abuse it because it's in our best interest not to. But it's sometimes, like in this scenario, it takes a long time and a lot of damage, generational damage in this case. And like, what are you going to do? Keep your 14, 15-year-old off of devices? Like, they're going to go to school, they're going to go to friends' houses, like they're going to be the only one without a cell phone or whatever it is, right? Like it would almost borderline on abusive to do that to your child nowadays. You're like just putting them at such a disadvantage. But are you? You are socially. I don't know. What do you think, man?
I'm absorbing what you're saying.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure where it's going, you know? I'm not sure where it's going.
You know, there's something inside of us which is making us do stuff.
Yeah.
There is a force inside of us that's making us do stuff. We have choice in the middle of it. And so, yeah, whatever's going on now is necessary. There's nothing new under the sun. Human beings have gone through, you know, and it's always a pendulum, you know, going forward and going backward. But it seems now we kind of a backward swing.
Yeah.
Because of the morality.
Yeah.
And the lack thereof.
Yeah.
The violence, the anger. It's very primitive. It's not evolved. It's not intelligent like an era that brought symphonies and poetry into the world.
Agreed. We are,
you know, nothing's going to die. Things are going to go forward, and nothing.
Okay, but it's where are we going? What's the quality of this life that we continue to?
I think we're learning and we're merging. You know, and it's a very stubborn part of us. It's a part of us that is just that. It needs to be that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back. I mean, we've been talking about it the whole time, but it goes back to what we started talking about, that balance that you really have to strive for in life of you have to be a beast and you have to be soft and vulnerable and you have to figure out where how you want to cope or how you want to manage.
Down. You have that actualized that you are happening to life. Life is not happening to you.
I mean, I try. I mean, I feel like we all try to be to be, you know, we're hopefully the masters of our own domain, right? We are guiding the ship. We are the pilot of the plane. Hopefully the plane is not piloting us, because that would just absolutely be like I'm living someone else's ride. I want to live my ride. So I don't want life to live me. I want to be on that. I want to be on it for sure.
I think that is essentially what we're giving people. I think essentially we want to give people a sense of ownership. You own your life. No one else owns.
But unfortunately, people don't know how to handle accountability with the ownership.
So why is that? Where does that come from? How do you cure that? What's the cure for that? What's the cure for? Just take accountability for what you're creating in your life. You know, your contribution.
It's a lot of things. A lot of us have enablers in our life. Okay. That's one variable. I think we are our own enablers. It's another variable. I think that when you don't feel accountability, or when it is, you know, a little prick as opposed to a hammer slam, or people will even build immunity to certain, you know, the outcomes of their actions in some cases. You know, I like there are some people that they've been, you know, doing things their whole life. Like, for example, maybe a criminal who's been stealing and doing things like that and ends up in jail on the regular basis. And to that person, going to jail may not be that bad, right? Like it's kind of the norm in their lives. It's like a norm, and it's acceptable, and it's acceptable from an accountability perspective. They're saying that this is okay. If I go to jail, like I'm going to do this knowing that I could go to jail, and I'm okay with that. Right? That's conditioning.
And, you know, it's interesting that when soldiers go overseas and they're witnessing civil unrest, they're not allowed to interfere. They have to just let it happen. And so bringing it back to your point is that people are at where they're at. Maybe it's not a good idea to interfere so much if it's not asked for, if not seeking because it's where they're at. You have to kind of respect that weird dynamic where people are at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't convert them to what you think is right. It's not fair.
You also don't have the entire context as an outsider, right? Like these people are going through something, and as an outsider, you don't know their beef. You don't understand.
Right.
You're not a local. You're not in the group. You don't understand. You weren't raised this way. You didn't have these experiences, and you weren't exposed to these things, and therefore stay out of it. This is not your fight. There's a saying in the South, not here, but a little bit north of here, right? Don't borrow trouble. Right? It's not your problem. It's not your problem. It's not your problem. But then on the other side, let's say I do come into a situation and I do understand for the most part, maybe there's some cultural things or some nuances that I don't, but maybe I think that I really can affect some positive change here. And I really can like help these people, right? Like there are those circumstances. And I think that even in those, people are more and more and more shying away from intervening and being that voice of reason, savior, hero, whatever the case may be. I think it's sad. I think some of it's due to legal stuff. I think our legal system is really messed up, and people will get, sued and whatever for like helping people out because of the way the legal system works. Like people are using it and weaponizing it to make money as opposed to finding justice, unfortunately. But we know that that's the norm in our species. So, I don't know.
The only time I think you can interfere is if their aggression and their terrorism is actually cutting into your space and violating you and threatening you.
Right.
Then but otherwise, it's a good idea to allow people to develop at their own rate, within their own cultural norms.
Yeah.
Not to interfere with that too much. Why? Because it's identity that you're interfering with at the end.
It is. It really is. It's not just personal identity. It's cultural identity, social identity, right? Like as much as we're individuals, we're these little groups, and we can kind of subscribe to whichever groups we kind of feel resonate with us, I think, right? Our friend groups is how we, are with our communities, religious communities, so on and so forth. So yeah.
Be really honest.
Yeah.
That this is where you belong, regardless of.
This is where you belong. Yeah. Belonging is an interesting concept, that concept of like belonging and like how certain things will make you feel like you belong and certain things don't. And sometimes you'll find something new that makes you feel more belonging than something old. And that should have been more nostalgic.
So borderline personality
Yeah.
personality have that at the core.
Yeah.
They do belong and they don't belong. And so they keep on swinging from loving and hating something.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that people are also incredibly swayed more and more over the decades by marketing practices. Marketing and the power of persuasion has become a real art and has become a real monetized thing, where I feel that people don't really live like their own unique lives based on what they actually want. They're being kind of told what to want. And then the herd basically makes you feel like it just validates you, right? So it's this very interesting self-perpetuating engine right now, right? You have the people that have now been conditioned to want things because you said that this is the value that they're going to get out of it. Everyone is on the bandwagon and you got to jump on the bandwagon, right? As someone that builds a lot of software for a lot of companies, a lot of times marketing software, I have personally built and have seen built some incredibly powerful marketing engines, omni-channel marketing engines, whereas like you don't even know you are getting bombarded all the time by things that are either subliminally or not so subtly telling you what's up, telling you what you should want, showing you other people that you may look up to that have that thing or that are telling you to get that thing, right? We have really We really made it into a real science and a real art form. And I think it's pretty toxic. I think that America has very, very lenient marketing laws that protect the consumer compared to other parts of the world. And, I know why. Obviously, they want money. Like, we're one of the wealthier nations on earth per capita. It's corruption, bro. It's corruption. The fact that the government allows it and that there are lobbyists lobbying for it is all a function of corruption, in my
The
opinion.
saddest thing is when that sales strategy is in the medical system. Because then it's a direct line to people and what you can do with that.
I mean, we've seen, even in the last few years, we have seen. I mean, you look at things like COVID. We're going there.
So weird.
Bro, I did not get any COVID vaccines.
I did.
I was like, bro, you cannot convince me to put this stuff into my body. Yeah. I was just absolutely not. Oh, I don't think there's any crazy stuff now.
Weirdness to it.
To be fair, I mean, from what I know about it, it was basically an immune therapy treatment. It's not a vaccine by definition, right? Like a vaccine, you can get
It wasn't trialed.
you can get a series of shots and you will never get rubella. You will never get the measles or the mumps. Like never. Like there is a almost 0% chance. The COVID vaccines weren't vaccines. They were just a treatment that gave you an immuno boost so that you could fight this flu. And they convinced the world that the influenza virus, because it was a super catchy version, required that little social experiment that we all had to go through for a few years. And a lot of companies raked in billions and billions and billions of dollars because of it. And so you have to ask yourself, like, where'd it come from? What were the, like, was it a whole scam? Was it a whole thing? I don't know. Like, there's all these conspiracy theories, but I think that the COVID treatment itself is testament to the power that the medical field has on humanity. I mean,
And they were very aggressive about it.
You think? Oh, some countries were.
Yeah, they weren't shy in what was going on.
No, they were not. And they made you believe that this was truth. And it turned out to not be truth.
And they suppressed information.
Oh, yeah. Power of the press, power of the media, power of the press has never been more prevalent in, I think, our existence and, until now, right? Because there's so many different hooks and plugs into people that didn't even exist before. So, I mean, everyone is using every channel that they possibly can to try to manipulate, to try to convince, to try to control, to try to sell. And yeah, and it's nuts. It's absolutely out of control. And I don't know what the answer is, because I do believe in a free and open market. I do. But I do believe in protecting the consumer. And I don't know where to draw that line personally. It's nuanced as hell. Like there's so many implications. So I can't say like definitively, like, this is where we need to put our foot down and say, you business can't do this, even though it, while it may be dirty, shouldn't be illegal. I don't know. People should also be able to choose for themselves. But the problem is that, I don't know, our education system, so people don't have the ability to choose for themselves. I feel like they're like, and by the way, I'm sorry to say that. Like, I'm not calling everyone stupid, obviously, but it's not your fault. Like, this is systemic. Okay. And it's not that you're stupid. You just don't have a lot of facts and you haven't done a lot of the reading and you haven't learned a lot of the concepts that would help make more educated decisions. Okay. So let's just get that straight. And that's, by the way, all my opinion. So meaningless. Anyway, I don't know. What do you think about like that balance? Like, where do you draw that line? Or what is the triggering event that would even guide you down that path? Open market, open free market versus protecting the consumer. And marketing is the prime example, obviously.
I think it's out of control. And I think it's insensitive and it's very uncaring. The powers that be are pretty nasty. People who are in control. I see it in the medical system mostly. people who are denied care, people who are lied to, doctors whose hands are tied because they have to follow protocol that's killing people.
Well, or because the insurance company won't pay, and they're not doing medicine for free.
You won't pay for someone's well-being when it's proven that they need your help. You can deny them care.
Trust, man. It's so messed up. The fact that we're in a system that allows that to happen is messed up.
It's more than just messed up. It needs to stop.
Agreed. But I think it needs to start with, at least in America, with people improving their health.
Because that breeds internal terrorism. There's going to be somebody who will rise up against it.
Not somebody. There's so much insurance fraud. There's so much fraud across the spectrum. Doctors acting like drug dealers and getting paid. It's insane. It's endless. People pretending that they have things so that they can get care, so that they can get their drugs, so that they can.
They don't learn medicine. They learn in med school. They learn how to give drugs to people, how to control them. It's very barbaric. It's not enlightening. It's not about healing and health and wisdom and enlightenment. Healing. It's not a healing art.
Disappointing. I thought that by this time in society and evolution that we would have more scientific medicine as opposed to the medicine man that comes into town with their potions, with their elixirs. And it's like, it feels like that still. It feels like it never really grew.
Yeah, I'm just making that
same point. I know. No, I'm saying I'm surprised, but I'm surprised that we're still there. Obviously, there is some medicine that is amazing, and there are some doctors that have done some incredible and do some incredible things and save lives every day. But to be fair, a lot of those people are nurses, they're EMTs, they're the people on the ground doing that stuff. The doctor's work is obviously super important. But medicine, I don't believe, is what it's touted to be. I think that there are individuals who have really made it a passion and who are great at it and who should be doing it. It's the business of medicine. It's the business.
Absolutely. Just like the business of music. Horrific.
I know.
Really horrific. But I think it's the same kind of consciousness that's running both.
It is. And I think that that we need as a society, we need more balance. We need there to be more empathy and sympathy, and we need people to also be assertive and strong. But there has to be more balance. It's too lopsided. There is not enough empathy and sympathy and emotion in the systems. And therefore the systems don't allow for any of those things to really be the focal point, to be the driver, right? Because money's always going to be the driver. Anyway.
It's interesting how Jews are tied into that too. And that's why they blame the Jews at the end.
That's a whole can of worms. You need to slow go. No, I'm not disagreeing. It's a can of worms that we should definitely open. I think so. Yeah. But this has been a fantastic episode, my friend. First of all, the music accompaniment has just been phenomenal. Obviously, you all get to see who I'm dealing with over here because, unbelievable. And what great conversation.
Yes.
Ooh, this was a good one. We have to dig into some of these things a little bit deeper, though. Yeah. But this is
feedback from the people.
Yeah, please, guys, post, comment, like, subscribe, share. We want your feedback. We love it. Just tell us. I'll we'll start reading this stuff. And I think when we get big enough, maybe if we get big enough, when, right?
Well, I think we're gonna get big.
Freaking heck are we? But we'll see.
Amongst our friends, for sure.
Yeah, well, amongst our friends and family, obviously. But I want to start doing this live at some point, maybe monthly. Once we get a good, once we get a good subscriber, well, they can be online. They can do it virtually. They can log in, right? And we can do a live podcast. Yeah, and on Spotify, there's a bunch of different. Anyway, I think if we get big, I would love to do lives and have people commenting live and being able to have kind of some of that interaction with people because I want to hear what they are saying. I want to hear what they're thinking.
Everybody, a platform. Speak what you want. Just say it.
Say it. Give it to us. I want it. To be honest, be straight, be real, be genuine, be you. It's power. is power. To be genuinely you is a powerful thing.
Absolutely. Imagine a space. See, that's why therapy should be like that, where, right? A person is allowed to be themselves.
Yeah.
See, a lot of my thinking is influenced from my schooling, from my experience.
Yeah.
Giving that space, you know?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is.
No, you know, I don't know why I go back to that guy on death row, because that was like the ultimate
Pinnacle.
of whatever it is I experienced in this lifetime. That was really special, right?
Yeah, that's unique.
You know, so giving somebody even so cruel, a space to self-reflect and just acknowledge and be vulnerable.
That's gotta,
You know, what does that look like?
yeah, that's gotta be a hard conversation. That's gotta be a hard conversation. That's some,
I'm sure there's psychologists like that. I'm sure there's psychotherapists.
oh yeah. Yeah. I'm sure.
It's having my show.
Who are you guys? Let us know. Well, we want to hear about your experiences. We want to hear about the humanity. We want to hear about what you have to say about. I want to hear it. I know. I'm excited.
Because I can talk about a lot of like different kind of things when it comes to religion and psychology,
Mm-hmm.
and not be offensive, but
Right.
be welcoming all kinds of different ideas
Yeah.
out there,
Mm-hmm.
even though that some of them are skewed. And I think
Influenced.
Mhm.
Influenced. Anyway, until next time, guys, this has been great. Sharon on the piano. A little outro. Ah.